Hello there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood Trashman. Here today, we're going to do another Best Ball Mania 3 draft. We did one last week with not the most recent version of our Best Ball cheat sheet. So we have a new version of the Best Ball cheat sheet. So we're going to see how that goes. Last week, the draft went really well. So I'm interested to see how it changes in one way or the other. So I'm going to go ahead and join lobby. We'll join a game. I don't know why I'm calling it a game. It's not, well, I guess it is a game. So we're waiting for 4 people. I made the draft a little bit later today than I did last week. I did it like 10 in the morning last week, and it took me about 20 minutes to fill up a room, a draft room. So this looks like it'll be quicker. So if you're watching, if you're partaking, if you're joining along, feel free to go onto Underdog Fantasy, use the code ROSTER to get 100 extra bucks in bonus cash if you enter an extra 100 bucks. If you enter less than that, you'll get that amount in bonus cash. I can only imagine. So I think I have first pick in this draft. So this will be my first time picking from the number 1 spot, if that is the case. And who would our best ball sheet have us pick with our number 1 pick? It's, as you guessed it, Jonathan Taylor. So waiting for 3 people now. If you're watching out there and you feel like joining in, please do. You'll get all the info that you need. So waiting for 1 person now. Now this is going a lot more quickly than last week, for certain. I think, yeah, having a later time during the day, maybe when some people are out of work. It's a better strategy, at least than getting these drafts going quickly. All right, so the draft will start in exactly 1 minute. Oh, no, and I do not have the number 1 spot. I have the 6th spot. So if you are joining, watching in, feel free to comment, ask questions. "19 seconds left." Getting a little excited, a little anxious. My icon looks like a German Shepherd, I think. Byron would appreciate that. He had 2 of them. And here we go. Just as I thought, Jonathan Taylor off the board. Jamar Chase. Huh, interesting. Christian McCaffrey with the 3. Cooper Kupp. Derrick Henry. So according to Cheat Sheet, Justin Jefferson is our man. So I'll go ahead and draft him there. Stefan Diggs, the next pick. Justin Jefferson, I think, is a nice first pick. It's interesting, though. I would think that Adam Thielen would be a little bit higher ranked than he is right now. I think you're going to probably be able to get value on him. Nicolare gone. Now Cook. Mixon. This is pretty much going according to the best ball cheat sheet. Maybe some of these people in this draft are using it. Davante Adams, Kelsey, it's going quickly. Mike Evans, Swift. Deebo Samuel. Tyreek Hill. Steve Lamb. Najee Harris brings us back to my pick. We have Leonard Fournette, who, although I guess has been struggling some in minicamp, we'll go ahead with the cheat sheet. Keep it going. So far, we have Justin Jefferson, Leonard Fournette. Those are our first 2 picks. Not particularly sexy with the first 2 picks, but seems solid. So I'm marking these guys off on the cheat sheet as they get picked. That's going pretty quickly. Connor, then Williams. Barkley. Yeah, we have Williams and Michael and Keenan Allen ranked back to back here. So if we think that highly of them, I suppose we're thinking that highly of their quarterback too. Javonte Williams. Be sharing the backfield with Melvin Gordon for another season, much to our chagrin. A.J. Brown. Jared Allen, and we're back to me. Josh Allen, excuse me. Cheat sheet says Michael Pittman. So that's where we're going to go. So Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman as our first 2 receivers. It's young guys, but in really good position to get a lot of volume this season and a lot of red zone action. Chubb, Allen. Waddle. I mean, consensus seems to have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle up pretty high, so I'm guessing people are high on Tua Tagovailoa this season. I don't know. It's kind of fuzzy math to me. Yeah, the cheat sheet has been fairly close to consensus thus far. I guess we have Michael Pittman higher. Holmes and Brown go next. Oh, Waller. Yeah, with Waller and now Devontae Adams in Las Vegas, I don't know what Hunter Renfrow's going to do. Had a pretty strong into the season, but I don't see much room for him there in that offense. One more pick before we go again. Cody, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining in. Are you drafting as well? Because let's go with cheat sheet said Deontay Johnson. Metcalf, Etienne. This draft's going by so quickly, it's hard to keep up on the cheat sheet. Judy. I'm excited to see what this Denver Broncos offense is going to do. This Denver Broncos receiving corps seems like they have like an embarrassment of riches there. See, I got my underdog cap on to go with the theme of the draft. Allen Robinson. I like that pick there. I think he's underrated in drafts right now. They played him $30 million guaranteed. So the Rams are confident in him. We should be too. Oh, and we're up. George Kittle, according to the cheat sheet. Let's go with it. So Wolves looks like he's going to auto pick. Cooper, not a bad one. Oh, 13 slow drafts. I don't know if I checked my email often enough to keep track of that. Yeah, these drafts are fun. I did one last week that I really enjoyed. Really like the team I got. I don't know, drafting on the 6th spot, it hasn't been exactly – well, it hasn't been a sexy draft, but it looks solid so far. So far, we have Leonard Fournette at running back, Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson, and George Kittle. So I'll probably go running back with this next pick. "13 drafts, dude. If I play, I'm trying to pare it down to like 4 leagues a season. No, it's about all I can keep up with and actually pay attention to." So these picks are going so quickly, it's hard to keep up. Bateman, Michael Thomas. Hopefully Elijah Mitchell falls. He should. This guy before me has 3 running backs already. Oh, right on. Yeah, I'd like to do more of these slow ones on Underdog, but it doesn't really make for good podcasting. I know Byron's playing some kind of slow draft. I think he's drafting like 40 to 50 players. It's like this one's starting to slow down a little bit. We'll go QB with this next pick. And of these guys available, it does look like Dak Prescott is the best quarterback available. So right now, we have Dak Prescott, Leonard Fournette, Elijah Mitchell, running back, Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson at receiver, and then George Kittle at tight end. Yeah, I would say running back's probably the weakest spot right now, but that might just be optics. Who's the guy you're trying to get in most of your drafts, Cody? Is there somebody that you're zeroing in on? Yeah, it is important to look at stacks in these. I think the I think the homer in me kind of went for Dak. But Lance might still be there when it comes around. Yeah, Tolbert would be a nice pick, a nice addition. Okay, one pick. Oh, look. We can get Lance there. So right now on the team, we have Dak Prescott, Trey Lance, quarterbacks, running back Leonard Fournette, Elijah Mitchell, and then Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson at receiver, and then George Kittle. So right now, got a little 49ers stack with Lance and Mitchell and Kittle. Let's look at and see where they have Tolbert. See if I have some time. Okay, he says he's targeting Tim Patrick. When it makes sense in the 10th, I love Tim Patrick. I've always loved him. Oh, Dak and Lance have the same bye. Okay, of who's available. Let's see. Going a little off the reservation here. Yeah. I'll take a quarterback with my last pick. Somebody I can plug in there in that week 9 spot. So, like I said, Cody was targeting Tim Patrick when it makes sense in the 10th and then Cole Kmet in the 12th. Okay. Wow. Cole Kmet is making him the top 6 tight end. We'll see. I know that team is planning on going really run heavy this season. But tight ends always make for good safety blankets for young quarterbacks. So maybe you're onto something there. So right now the team is as such: Dak Prescott, Trey Lance at quarterback, Leonard Fournette, Elijah Mitchell, and James Cook running back, Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson receiver, and then George Kittle at tight end. Let's see what receivers we have here on the slate. Christian Watson, who could end up being the number 1 in Green Bay. Jameson Williams right behind him. See who the cheat sheet likes out of those two. It's Christian Watson by a mile, it seems. So I'm just going to go ahead and take him. So with all these receivers we have, I mean, virtually we have all of them so far either are the number one receiver on their team, or could shape up to be so. And James Cook, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be, if he's got the fortitude to be a number one back, but I didn't think Devin Singletary did either. And I think Cook might be a little bit more dynamic than Singletary. Okay. So you think we can wait 3 rounds on Tolbert? We've waited 1 so far. Let's look at the best players available. Might go out a limb and take Dameon Pierce or Rachaad White here. So I'd go with Dameon Pierce. I think he's got a shot to lead that backfield in Houston. One of the more explosive backs for a bigger, kind of squattier back we saw at the Senior Bowl this season. Okay, so let's see if we can get Tolbert with this next pick. Right now, the team has a lot of young talent on it. I feel like Leonard Fournette and George Kittle are oldest players. Somebody just took Spiller for the Chargers. I really liked Spiller. I know he had a terrible combine. I think he wasn't fully healthy. I think he's going to make a good all-around back there for Los Angeles. Nyheim Hines is getting a lot of talk too, a lot of hype, at least from his coaches. There goes our boy Tim Patrick and Michael Carter. Yeah. I think I could maybe wait for Tolbert for one more round, but I will probably take him with this pick. I kind of want to take Jarvis Landry here, but I just want to shore up that stack, that Cowboys stack. Here, Landry's been soaking up targets in New Orleans in OTAs thus far. But Michael Thomas hasn't been there, so. So looking at the team right now, Prescott, Lance, Fournette, Mitchell, Cook, Pierce, Jefferson, Pittman, Johnson, Watson, Tolbert. Suppose we should add another tight end to that mix. See who's there. Tonyan, Alberto comment. Who does the cheat sheet like? Likes Alberto. Likes Alberto. So we got our boy Cody on the draft with us. We're going to go with this boy, Cole Komet. Go with his gut. And, I like having a guy there who maybe not a lot of people are expecting to do much. These are the kind of differences that make these teams pop off in really large fields. Alberto went next. Well, the tight end that went next. Okay, looking at quarterbacks. Oh, this is interesting. Sean Watson's still available. Might be interesting to have him as my third quarterback. I think that if there was some sort of suspension, maybe he'll be playing again by week 9. Oh, he's got the week 9 bye. Can't take him. So just looking at the rest of my team, I guess it would make sense to add Matt Ryan to the mix eventually, since we have Michael Pittman there. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So Matt Ryan does not have a week 9 bye. So I added him to the mix. So that kind of shores up the quarterback problem that we had. Interestingly enough, though, we have stacks for each of those quarterbacks. Pittman for Ryan, Mitchell and Kittle for Lance, and then Tolbert for Prescott. Okay. Someone from RosterWatch. I'm guessing it's either Alex or Byron. Suggesting we get Paris Campbell later to further build that stack for Indianapolis. Don't have to twist my arm to pick up Paris Campbell. I've been featuring him a lot. Well, I did that for you, Cody. I got Komet for you. I mean, I personally would have maybe gone Alberto there. He was available, but I'm going to go with your gut there. Well, just go with Paris now. Get it out of the way. There weren't any of these guys I liked much more than him either. I guess there's an argument for Sammy Watkins. Could be the number 1 there in Green Bay. But it could be my boy Christian Watson, I already have on the squad. Okay, so far, Prescott, Lance, Ryan at quarterback, Fournette, Mitchell, Cook, Pierce at running back, Jefferson, Pittman, Johnson, Watson, Tolbert, Campbell at receiver, then Kittle and Kmet at tight end. Solid squad so far. Not one I would have predicted. I think running back seems to be the weakest link on paper, at least. So maybe that's where I'm going to go with this next pick. See the cheat sheet likes of this group. Seems like where was he? Keontae Ingram, a lot here. I don't hate it. Yeah, let's get a little bit trashy. Keontae Ingram, not a lot in front of him there in Arizona. James Conner, as you might well know, has never played an entire season in the NFL. So we got some good stack action here with this team. Be nice if we could get another fantasy valuable cowboy to add to that stack, but I don't know that there's one around for us to take. Oh, James Washington. That could be interesting. James Washington, I think, wasn't he a Biletnikoff winner, if not finalist, coming out of Oklahoma State? Never really lived up to his potential in Pittsburgh. But I think he's got room to grow in Dallas. I must be playing against someone who's listening in. It took Washington from me. Okay. In that case, these guys who are available. Oops. Odell Beckham. Let's take the plunge. Do we really think Pringle and Velus are going to fill the void? I mean, I'll be honest. Byron Pringle is one of my favorite prospects coming into the draft the year he came out. If you go back and watch his college tape, he's pretty electric. OBJ, I think. Well, I think if he goes to Cleveland, that'll be all on what happens with Deshaun Watson. Other than that, I could see him in Green Bay. But back to what I was talking about with Chicago, I really do like Byron Pringle. He was actually second in receiving, I believe, for the Chiefs last season. Velas, he's an interesting guy too. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's really fast. Good kid. I mean, I don't know if they're going to fill that void, but more than anything, I worry about the offense that the Bears are going to run in relation to their pass catchers. I think it's going to be really run heavy. But so I think Khalil Herbert's actually going to be the biggest beneficiary of their offense. Okay. Next pick. Look at these tight ends. Do we feel good at tight end? Kittle comment. There's nobody I'm really excited about there. Deontay Foreman. Let's bet on a Christian McCaffrey injury. Perish the thought. Yeah, I think Chicago. I think it's going to be a great year for the running backs. Anyway, so that's the team that we drafted. No, that's not the one I want to see. That was my first draft. Anyway, that was it for the draft. Went by quicker than I expected, but I think it was a good team. This is a different one. The first one actually completed. Well, why I can't see the one that I just did, but it was a good team. Quarterbacks, Matt Ryan, Trey Lance, Dak Prescott. We had receivers from each of those teams, and Jalen Tolbert, George Kittle, and then Michael Pittman. Then we added Paris Campbell for that Indianapolis stack, and Elijah Mitchell, technically for that San Francisco stack. So, I don't know that just on looking at it, I liked it more than the first draft I did with the cheat sheet last week. But with all the stacks that we're able to put together, it actually might be a more capable team, when we're talking about these large field tournaments. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Cody, good to see you. Good luck in all 13 of your slow drafts. Maybe I'll get on some of those. Anyway, this has been the Trashman I have for RosterWatch.com. Until next time, be ready.